recording. All right, so I'm going to post this as a recording too, so that way anybody that couldn't get on can go in and listen to the recording. I know there were several of you who had mentioned that you couldn't get on and that you wanted to get on. So here is the recording coming at you after after this. So I don't have a ton of stuff to cover today. I just kind of wanted to go back to basics and share just a couple things that that we are doing that are, making nutrition simple and easy to follow, and then kind of just cover obstacles, and then I'll just open up some a little bit of time for Q&A. And then again, if you're watching the recording, come or post your questions in the comments and stuff like that. So something that we really started implementing this week is we printed out the Kids Eat the Rainbow chart. So this is under, I think it's module 7, the Family Fix, or module 6. And this little rainbow chart, because we are super guilty of, like, the kids eat snacks and we haven't been they eat pretty healthy, but we haven't been paying as much attention to what they eat. And just in the last week, tracking that and kind of keeping an idea. Like yesterday, my 10-year-old, it was 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, all right, how many glasses of water have you had today? And she's like, just this one. And I'm like, what? You haven't had anything to drink all day? And she's like, no, I had some orange juice at breakfast, and then I guess I just didn't drink anything else. And I'm like, what? And I was like, just shocked. And then, the snacks, they have a lot of like carby snacks and stuff like that, which is fine. They need carbs for energy, but I don't want their primary source of nutrition to come from snacks and carbs. I want them to still be getting proteins, fruits and veggies. My 7-year-old tried sauteed zucchini the other night, and she got to cross off her little star that she tried something new. And she was like, this is really good. And I'm like, it is, right? So introducing them to new things, I think, is really important. Trying, just putting different foods out there, encouraging them to try something new. And then this little chart has been great for like working toward a reward, and then they can visually see what they're eating, and they know we use Daily Sunshine, the kids shake as well, and that's a full serving of fruit, a full serving of veggies, a full serving of protein, and a full serving of healthy fats for kids. So they know that if they get that, they're still getting something nutritious in. And we actually had Daily Sunshine shakes blended for dinner the other night for the kids, because they were like, they didn't want to eat what we were making and they didn't want to eat that. So we were like, why don't you guys have milkshakes instead? And they were like so excited that they got to have milkshakes for dinner. And then we put a little spinach in there, and we split a banana between them, and put some fresh fruit in there. So overall, when they're getting protein, I don't care where it comes from as long as it's a healthy source. So they actually enjoyed having milkshakes for dinner the other night, and they thought it was like the coolest thing ever that we let them have milkshakes for dinner. So, so that's kind of a nice little bonus. There are Daily Sunshine sampler packs available, so you can always purchase a sampler and try it if that's something that your kids are interested in doing. We get a bag every month and split it between the 3 of them. It's 30 servings, and that will last us a good month. I try to have them drink one every day, or in the morning they, can have a Daily Sunshine with their breakfast or something like that. But that's been a nice little added benefit. And then just having them try new things, getting them involved in the grocery shopping, and, what kind of new fruits do you want me to buy this week? Or is there anything new that you want to try? And the other day they were like, next time you go to the store, can you get dragon fruit? Can you get star fruit? Just like random stuff that we never buy. But yeah, definitely. If you want to try something new, I am more than happy to purchase it and have you try it. And they're being a little bit more mindful about what they're eating. And instead of them coming home from school and going straight to the pantry to get a granola bar, I'm giving them a fruit and veggie option instead. First, eat that first, and then you can have a granola bar or whatever. So that's been going really well. We plan our meals out every week. I haven't done a meal plan for this week yet because Luke and I just started the 3-day refresh today. So we're doing that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But as far as meal planning goes, I dive into the recipes. I love the cookbook, but I like to kind of dial things down if I'm going to use the cookbook, because I feel like there's a lot of intensity in a lot of those recipes. But pulling some ideas from there, this week I intend to do like the chicken, I don't even know how to say it, the caprese style chicken that's like the basil, tomato, mozzarella, balsamic. That's something that I want to put on there, and I'm not making it fancy. I'm literally just buying those ingredients, baking the chicken, putting that together, throwing it under the broiler for a little bit to kind of cook it up a little bit better, and then have that for a meal later on this week. I dive into the Beachbody blog underneath the recipes tab, and then you can also access that from your phone. But there's a bunch of recipes in there. There's a brand new like Instant Pot category. So if you use an Instant Pot, there's great ones in there. You can also do those in a crock pot. Obviously, it just takes longer. If you have an air fryer, we do a lot of things in the air fryer. We do chicken, we do fish. We've done pork chops in the air fryer, and they've turned out really, really good. So if you have those tools, utilize them. If you need help with, recipes for that, you can find some stuff on the blog. But I'm more than happy to kind of just share what we've done and what works. Keisha, if you have any questions along the way, just jump on in and ask or raise your hand or whatever. But those that blog is really great for recipes. I would like for everyone to take your weight, your pictures, your measurements. We're basically a month in, and it's important to continue to measure your progress. Now, the scale is not always the best judge of of progress. However, if you have a weight loss goal, it's important to know that you're moving in the right direction. So where some weeks it's like, I only lost a pound this week, I lost 5 pounds this week. That happens. Your body fluctuates. Your hormones cause your body to fluctuate, and the things that we eat cause our body to fluctuate too. I know that during my cycle, I tend to carry an extra 3 to 5 pounds as I get closer to my cycle. And that's just normal. That's a normal response for my body. And our bodies can fluctuate as much as like 3 to 10 pounds during that month, which is a bummer, but it's part of life. So just be mindful of your weight, especially if you're working toward weight loss. Obviously, if you're not working for weight loss, if you're just maintaining balance, better overall nutrition, then it's not as necessary to keep an eye on the scale. But I will tell you, I've gotten into the habit where I weigh myself regularly just so I can make sure that I'm maintaining. So I know last night we did our weight and measurements and pictures before we started the 3-day refresh. And I was like, oh, well, I haven't been on the scale in a couple weeks, and this is why. And I can see that the cocktails and the going out to eat and the things that I've been indulging in have caused me to gain a few pounds. Totally fine. But I know the range that my body stays at as far as maintenance, and I know like when I'm lifting heavier weights and doing a lot more weighted workouts, I can expect my body weight to increase a little bit because I'm using more water and pulling more water into my muscle mass. So anyway, mindful of weight, mindful of your measurements. Non-scale victories are very, very important too. So keep an eye on how your clothes are fitting. I know, Keisha, you had some victories this week with that. Keep an eye on how your clothes are fitting. Keep an eye on how your body feels. I was just reading a quote literally just this morning that said, hold on. And I saved several of them. Where is it? When you start eating food without labels, you no longer need to count calories, which is true. The preservation of health is easier than the cure of disease. And I can speak to that as a nurse. If we can prevent disease with better nutrition, wonderful. That's what we should be doing. And then, oh, of course it went away. Where is it? There it is. You can be eating until your heart's content, but as long as you're starving on a nutritional basis, your body is going to stay hungry to get those specific nutrients. So if we're eating, I use the example of getting Chinese takeout. I love Chinese takeout. I love like General's chicken. I love the sugary sweet, like sweet and salty. That's like one of my favorite things. I can't even tell you the last time I've had Chinese takeout. But you get Chinese takeout, you eat half of, you get a huge portion, you eat half of it, and then literally 40 minutes later, I'm starving. I'm like, how did I just eat all this food and I'm still hungry? Because we're not filling our body with the nutritional things that it needs. We're just dumping crap into our body, and our body isn't using that as fuel. It's not, we're not using it as fuel for our brain, for our organs. We're just feeding that disease per se. So, and same thing with fast food. Like I can eat a whole big thing of McDonald's fries, and then 20 minutes later, I'm like, why am I still hungry? I just ate all these fries. And if we're not giving our body the nutrients that it needs, as far as, like vegetables, fruits, antioxidants, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, things like that, then we can't expect to feel the way that we should feel. And it's a really, really amazing feeling when you start to feel that change in your body, when you start to feel healthy, you start to feel that energy. And that's what happens when we pull those nutrients out of the nutrition that we're putting in our body. So a couple of things to do this week. Get prepped for your nutrition. Take a look through the recipes, take a look through the meal plans. I'm going to share, actually, I'll go ahead and post a couple of I have some 21-day fix container specific meal plans. I'll post those in the group in the files section. So that way you can dive in and print those out. If they're not working for you, let me know so that way I can message them to you directly. But I'll post them in the files section in the app group. And that the basic foundational fix has been the simplest way, what I can say as far as nutrition goes, to kind of just understand it and get it. The more that you use those containers, the more that you visualize your food on your plate, the more that you prep and plan ahead for your meals, the more you're going to feel a lot more comfortable with all of the other things, going out to eat, keeping an eye on your portion sizes, and how you should be eating throughout the day. So keeping your food log. This thing is super, super important if you're a pen and paper person, to just sit down and write it out at the end of the day. Take an extra 5 minutes. I'm guilty. I don't always do this every day, and I probably haven't done it in the last week. It's probably true. But keeping track of that. If you're not using that, then you're using your Nutrition Plus app on here, and you're logging your containers on this Nutrition Plus app. And that is, you can go in and you can log your weight, and you can log the amount of containers that you're supposed to have. So you can literally just go in and check off the boxes every day. And that just keeps things a lot more simple and easy to do. And I'll tell you guys, we've got a month left of this group. If you can implement these containers fully for at least a week, at least 2 weeks, you're going to see results. This is not supposed to be a quick fix, fast, like lose 50 pounds in a month kind of group or program. This is supposed to teach you long-term nutrition. And I can dive into all of the transformations in the Beachbody blogs and share all of these before and after pictures. But we know that this works. We know that the nutrition works. And we know that nutrition is often the hardest thing to work through to get results, because a lot of it stems from, I'm super guilty of this, emotional eating. You get frustrated, so you run to the pantry and eat a whole bag of chips and salsa. I do that more often than I'd like to admit. Go to the pantry and eat. I can't keep chocolate chips in my house, because if I keep chocolate chips in my house to make cookies, I just eat the whole bag and then I don't have any chocolate chips left for the cookies. And I'm like, what am I doing? But just those little things like that, knowing like, I can't keep this in my house because I want to eat the whole thing, then don't have it in your house. Same thing with our kids' snacks. Like, we have to be a little bit more mindful of what we keep on hand for the kids to have as snacks, because I don't want to eat a whole container of cheese balls if I'm frustrated. I don't need to go in and eat, their granola bars and things like that. So we're a little bit more conscious of what we purchase for our kids. And because they're kids, they should be eating healthy things too, not just because, it's on sale at, in the snack aisle at Target. But trying new things this week, making sure you get a baseline for your weight and your measurements. Brag on yourself. If you have some victories, come into the group and share them, and share the progress that you're seeing, and share the excitement. Any obstacles that you're struggling with, whether it's personal, you don't have to talk about it, but you're more than welcome to, because that's what these groups are for. Those little struggles, come in here and talk about it, because chances are somebody else is struggling with it too. And we can work through it together. Meal planning is key. I'll share those meal plans, print them out, use them, take it one day at a time. Again, use your logbook, just daily things that you're doing to be a little bit more mindful of your nutrition. I really don't have anything else. Try something new. Did I say that already? I think I did. Try to implement a new recipe or a new vegetable, or if you haven't cooked anything with zucchini noodles yet or spaghetti squash, do that this week. I love doing like baked chicken with marinara sauce over zucchini noodles, and then adding in, garlic and herbs and seasonings like that. I do like Italian chicken, and then I toss in there like roasted tomatoes and fresh green beans and all of that in a bowl with zucchini noodles. Spaghetti squash is great to do with like turkey meatballs and marinara sauce. I do a turkey taco bake where I do ground turkey in a skillet, ground turkey with some corn and black bean salsa and some roasted tomatoes or fresh salsa. And then I toss all of that together, and then I put it in spaghetti squash boats, and then serve it as that. And then a little bit of, plain Greek yogurt on top and some avocado makes for a really, really delicious meal as well. And I also have an Italian chicken Italian chicken spaghetti squash that I do as well. That's really, really good. And these are all recipes that I can share in the group as well. And then just as, it's hard to eat to the containers when you're doing a big like bake kind of thing. But just to try to be like mentally conscious of like, okay, this is a giant spaghetti squash. I don't need to eat the entire spaghetti squash. Like, what would a portion of spaghetti squash look like? Probably about like this. So as you're scooping it out, same thing with, your portion of protein is about like this, and it's always okay to go a little over on veggies. Veggies aren't bad. Yeah, that's all I have. Keisha, did you have any questions? No? Okay. Well, I'll share some meal plans. Share your victories, share your progress this week. Any questions that you guys have, be sure to drop them in the comments or ask. Reach out to myself or your coach or the group, and let's just keep rocking and rolling. This is, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So 1 to 5 pound weight loss a week is typically ideal. So, if you're at 5 to 10 pounds in a month, that's awesome. Think of the long-term progress. If you're losing 5 pounds a month, that's 60 pounds in a year, and that is amazing. So keep going, and we'll keep rocking and rolling. All right, guys. Thanks for getting on. Hope you have a great Sunday. Bye.